Welcome to The Explainer. We're jumping right into one of the most groundbreaking releases to hit the developer space lately, Google's Anti-Gravity 2.0. Dropped at the 2026 I/O Summit, this tool is literally making everyone completely rethink how we build software. Let's break down exactly what it is and how it actually works.
Here is a roadmap for today. We're going to cover the AI coding war, how agent collaboration works, a quick beginner setup guide, using the VS Code CLI, and finally, diving into exactly why Google is giving this away for free.
All right, Section 1, the AI coding war.
To really grasp why Anti-Gravity 2.0 is making such massive waves, we've got to look at the current landscape. For the last couple of years, Claude Code and OpenAI's Codex absolutely dominated. Honestly, they built such a massive lead that a lot of us thought Google was just out of the race for good. But then, they dropped Anti-Gravity 2.0. They took this wildly complex V1 IDE, which, let's be real, scared off anyone who wasn't a hardcore dev, and transformed it into a super clean, accessible chat interface. The result? It's literally like having an entire AI software company living right inside your laptop.
When you stack it up against the competition, the paradigm shift is just huge. With Claude Code, you're usually stuck manually setting up sub-agents and workflows just to get things going. Codex definitely supports agents too, but you're locked entirely behind a paid ChatGPT Plus subscription. Anti-Gravity 2.0 totally flips the script. It actually has a free tier, and the second you throw a complex task at it, it automatically spins up dynamic, parallel sub-agents to tackle the problem simultaneously. Absolutely no manual setup required.
And the speed on this thing is wild. Running on Gemini 3.5 Flash, people are seeing generation speeds hitting almost 800 tokens per second. That makes certain workflows feel up to 12 times faster than what we're used to with traditional AI coding tools. And Google proved this wasn't just marketing hype. Live on stage at the I/O conference, they ran Anti-Gravity 2.0 for 12 hours straight. At its peak, it had 93 sub-agents working in parallel, building an entire, fully functional operating system completely from scratch.
That brings us to Section 2, how these AI agents actually collaborate.
So instead of the AI just spitting out code line by line while you sit there twiddling your thumbs, Anti-Gravity assigns specific roles to sub-agents, and they run simultaneously. Say you want to build a high-end, direct-to-consumer biohacking website. Immediately, a markup architect agent starts building out the front-end structure. At the exact same time, a style stylist agent is handling the visuals, while an image generator is creating campaign images to match your aesthetic. It's basically a highly synchronized dev team working in real time.
The secret sauce holding all of this together is the /go command. Think of this as your intelligent project manager. It ensures that the second the markup agent finishes a layout, the style agent knows exactly where to apply the brand colors, and the image agent knows right where to inject the photos. It keeps all these parallel agents perfectly organized, blending their work into one cohesive product without breaking a sweat.
Moving into Section 3, a beginner's guide to anti-gravity. Let's look at how you can get started.
Getting set up is surprisingly painless. First off, just download the app. They've got builds for Mac, Windows, and Linux. Next, create a dedicated local folder for your project right on your desktop. This is exactly where the AI is going to read and write all its files. Finally, check out the drop-down menu. You can pick from frontier models like Gemini 3.5 Flash, Claude Sonnet, or GPT-OS, all available right inside the free tier to power your project.
Once you're in, the best part is you don't even need to be a master prompter. Say you ask it to build a premium brand, but you aren't completely sure about the niche. It'll actually browse the web, pull market data, and suggest options, like, say, elite biohacking. Before it even writes a line of code, it asks you open questions to nail down your exact aesthetic. Maybe you want that ultra-human tech luxury vibe. You just answer these questions in line, which feels exactly like resolving comments on a shared Google Doc. It's incredibly intuitive.
And here is where the absolute magic happens. Once those agents finish their work, you aren't just staring at a massive wall of text. You hit the /browser command, and it instantly takes all that generated code and turns it into a live, interactive preview storefront right in front of you. You can scroll through the site, check out the animations, and literally add items to a working shopping cart.
But it goes way beyond just building stuff from scratch. Anti-Gravity can actually function like a full-time employee. With the Scheduled Tasks tool, you can easily set up background routines. For instance, you could tell it to do a daily automated audit of your live website at 9 a.m., check what's converting, scan the competitor landscape, and just have a detailed report waiting in your inbox every single morning. Which brings us to Section 4, using the VS Code CLI. This one's for the power users.
Because let's be totally honest, if you are deep inside a complex project, the absolute last thing you want to do is tab out and open some separate desktop app. Google clearly knew this, which is why they built a super streamlined command line interface solution specifically for folks already living in VS Code.
Integrating it is crazy fast. You just hit up their site, copy the install command for your OS, open your VS Code terminal, and paste it in. It takes maybe 30 seconds tops. From that moment on, anytime you're in your terminal, you just type the letters A and G, and anti-gravity launches itself directly inside your current editor. And the best part? It's completely aware of all your local project files right out of the gate.
It also behaves a bit differently when you're in the CLI. If you drop a prompt asking it to audit your site, it instantly spawns highly specialized, developer-focused sub-agents. We're talking a code integrity auditor, a UX aesthetics reviewer, and a mobile web tester. They run in parallel and kick back a perfectly clean Markdown report mapping out every single bug, file path, and design issue right there inside your project folder.
Moving on to Section 5. Why is it free? Let's talk about Google's real strategy here.
The explainer sources highlight 3 major reasons behind that $0 price tag. First is ecosystem lock-in. Google wants millions of developers building with their tools today, which makes it way more likely they'll stick with Google Cloud and Gemini for the long haul. Second is catch-up mode. OpenAI and Anthropic definitely grabbed the spotlight first, so making this free is Google's fastest route to rapid, massive adoption. And third, user data. Every workflow, bug report, and prompt you run provides them with valuable, real-world training data to improve their models at lightning speed.
It's absolutely vital we talk about the cons here, though. Back in the older V1 anti-gravity IDE, you actually had the freedom to mix and match. You could use Claude for one super specific task and then jump over to Codex for another, basically cherry-picking the best brain for the job. But in V2, you're currently locked into what Google provides out of the box. For developers who spent months dialing in those mixed model workflows, this definitely feels like a notable step backward.
Then there's the whole issue with rate limits. Free users are dealing with some very strict caps. At launch, those limits were frankly brutal. People were hitting walls almost immediately. The backlash was loud enough that Google had to push out rapid updates. They tripled the limits for Pro and Ultra paid users, and then shortly after, tripled them again. So today, paid users have 9 times the original runway, but if you're on the free tier, you still have to manage your usage really carefully.
Which brings us to the ultimate takeaway. When you look at the sheer power of these parallel agents, those seamless live browser previews, and the crazy background task automation, I want you to ponder this final question. As you consider migrating your entire workflow over to Anti-Gravity 2.0, you really have to weigh its immense, accelerating capabilities against the true underlying cost of free. Are you the user, or are you the product? Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and we'll see you next time.